Alright, okay, we're just gonna look at this thing called polynomials. Okay, just revise what we did earlier. So when you have something like this, what do you call this again? So it's a straight line. So what is that name that describe straight line? So it is linear. Okay. So and then if you have something, let's say this, what do you call this? So quadratic. So basically, again, we are only looking at one variable, that is x. All right. So y is a function of x. So that way, okay. And then let's say you have this. Okay. And what do you call this?
Cubic.
So you call this cubic. I mean, basically, these are the three common ones. Anything above that, basically, you just call a polynomial. Right? Okay? So anything other than that, you just call polynomials because there isn't a specific name for that. Right? So, I mean, of course, if you call a quadratic polynomial, is it okay? Yeah, because it is the whole thing, right? Just like you call let's say -5. What kind of numbers is -5? It is a negative number, of course. It is also an integer. It is also a real number, right? In that way, yeah. So that's kind of like in that kind of grouping. Okay, so that's what we say, yeah. So and then we're gonna look at just addition, subtraction. So they are quite simple, right? Even multiplication, so it should be not that difficult, isn't it? Right? Of polynomials, of course. Right? So let's say if you have px equals to x plus 1, and then you have, let's say, another function qx, which is, let's say, x squared plus 5 x plus 2. So what is px plus qx? Right, so you just collect the like terms, those similar, you just put them together, and of course you will write the one with the highest power first. Okay, the one with the highest power is obviously x squared, and then come with x. So how many x are there? There's 1x for p, and then there's 5x for q. So altogether there will be 6x, and then after that, what do you have? And then that's just the number, constant term, right? So 1 and 2, so it would just be 3. Okay? So what if you are to subtract them? So again, it will be the same, right? So it's just x minus 1 minus that. So what do you have then? You have, again, if you try and write the one with the highest power, so it's x squared. Is it just x squared? It's negative x squared, yeah? Because you have px minus qx, right? So and then after that, what do you have? How many x are there? Is it positive or is it negative? So again, it would still be negative 4x. And then after that, the constant term? -1, right? Okay, so it's just that. Yeah, so when you minus every single one of them, right? Okay, so meaning x plus 1 minus x squared minus 5x minus 2. Okay? Yeah, so that's how it goes, isn't it? Alright? So what if you are to multiply them then? So if you have px multiplied by qx, what would that be? Okay, this I will write it down and say this will be x plus 1 multiply x squared plus 5x plus 2, yes? So which is actually the same as x multiplied by each and every one of this, which is the qx, and then plus 1 multiplied by each and every one of that term in qx. So what do you have? You would have x cubed plus 5x squared and 2x, and then plus x squared. So what do you have altogether? It will be x cubed. How many x squared are there? 6x squared. How many x? 7x. Constant. Okay, division. So this, let's just spend a little bit of time here. Just revise what we have done earlier, yeah? I'm gonna just okay, I'm trying to match that. So that line is just on top of the beam, if you okay. Give me some numbers. 3, 5, 6, 1 divided by 3. How does that say? Okay? So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna just ask you this. What is this number called? I know how to read that. Okay, this is called the dividend. Okay? What is this called? This is called the divisor. Okay, let's try and do that. So this is 1. Do I need to go on that, or can I just do 3 times 11, 33? Is that okay? Is that okay? So this is 26, and then 8, yeah? And then 7. Okay, and let's go back again and say, what is this number called? Okay, very good. So it's called the quotient. Okay, what is this 0 there? Remainder, yeah? Okay, now you don't really need to memorize this, but you need to know what it means, because if there's a word that say of this, obviously you need to know what it is, yeah? Alright? Okay, so let's try and do some division. So now let's say if you have, if we're going to divide, let's say px is x and then qx is x plus 3. Okay? So what we want to do is px divided by qx. Okay? Okay, short one, yeah? Alright, so short one, this is what you do. First of all, you have this particular way, that way. Alright, and then what you want to do is actually to pick up all the coefficient. Now do remember that when you pick up all the coefficient, you are to pick up the sign as well, as in positive or negative. Okay? Alright? And then you're going to write it down in order. The highest, the one with the highest index first. Okay? So the highest index here is x to the power 4, and the coefficient is 1. Okay? Write the sign. Okay, so positive 1. After that, positive 2. After that, negative 7, negative 8, positive 12. Okay? Now, you kind of like imagine that each one of this, it is a column on its own. Okay? It is a column, yeah? Alright? And then, you're going to put a divisor. Which one is the divisor here? X plus 3, yeah? Now, what you want to do is actually to say the value of x that makes this 0. Okay? The value of x that makes this 0 is?
Minus 3.
Okay, negative 3, yeah? So you're going to write negative 3 on the left hand side here. Okay? Right. Okay, so first, this is the format. Same thing, even if you use the normal long division, you write everything down first, isn't it? And then you write, but because it is long division, you write everything. Okay? But here, we want to do a little shorter. Okay, so we just write the coefficient. Alright? So the first number, you just write this down, whatever it is, down there, yeah? Okay? Which is positive 1. Okay? So positive 1 is the first number, right? So next, what do you need to do? You multiply this and put it here. In the second column. Okay? You multiply this and put in the second column, yeah? Which is negative 3, right? And then after that, you add this and then you put it down here. Okay, which gives you negative 1. Alright, after that, you multiply again, negative 3 and negative 1, and you put it down here, which is positive 3. Like I said, remember, write down the sign. And after that, you add this and then put it down here, which is negative 4. And you know what's the next step, right? Negative 3 multiply negative 4, which is positive 12. Negative 8 at 12, which is positive 4. And then multiply them again, negative 12. Now this last number, so you put a comma here and 0 here. Okay? So what are we trying to say these numbers? So remember, this is your divisor, yes? Now because it is a divisor, the divisor, you would also call that, no, we just call that the divisor, okay? Let's just call that the divisor. And all this is the quotient. And this is the remainder. Okay? And in the quotient, how would you write these numbers? Alright? The rightmost of the quotient would be x to the power x to the power. The last number is always without the x. It's the constant term. So a constant term is x to the power. Okay? And then x to the power 1, obviously. And then x squared and x cubed. Okay? So in a way, if you look at it, the function of p is px. Px is, the highest power is x to the power 4. If you divide by the quotient is x plus 3, right? So the quotient is x, power of 1. So x to the power 4 divided by x to the power 1 gives you x cubed, right? X to the power 3, right? So only write that way, isn't it? Okay? So what do you have right now when you divide? So px divided by qx, which is equals to x cubed minus x squared minus 4x plus 4. Again, 12, right? 36. And what's the remainder? 0. Now, when the remainder is 0, what is the relationship between this and this?
Multiple. It can be divisible. It is a multiple.
Okay, maybe you call a multiple, but if you say 3, what is another word that you can say about 3 to 36? It is a factor, right? So 3 is a factor of 36. Okay, let's go back here and say now, if you have px, which is x to the power 4 plus 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 8x plus 12, and if you divide by x plus 3, which is the qx there, what is the remainder?
0.
0, which we worked that out, right? So what is x plus 3 to this function of px? So we also say x plus 3 is a factor of the function of px, yeah? Okay? Alright, are we okay with that? So this is called factor theorem. Okay?